The air in the secure chamber thickened, not with dust or ash, but with a palpable psychic dread that pressed against the mind. Lyra, her brow furrowed in concentration, traced complex sigils across her data slate, her fingers dancing with feverish urgency. The projected schematics of Xylos Prime shimmer before them, a sickly green pulse emanating from Sector Gamma's depths. "Inquisitor," she whispered, her voice strained. "It's not merely a power source they seek to unleash. It's a rupture, a seed of a nightmare. The Coronates aren't just awakening it. They're attempting to overload it. If they succeed, the entire planetary core will destabilize, not just as an explosion, but as a gateway, a tear in the veil, Valerius, a permanent, self-sustaining warp rift that would consume Xylos Prime and then hunger for the rest of the system." Valerius stood, a silent sentinel, his gaze fixed on the grim projections. The wrongness they had all felt now had a name, a form, a terrifying purpose. Before he could respond, the chamber door hissed open, and Agent Tarsis stormed in, his face a mask of furious desperation. "Inquisitor," the screams from Sector Gamma, they're still echoing. "The Coronates are butchering them, but we still have time to relieve the pressure, to send aid. We can extract the remaining Civ Dash." Valerius cut him off, his voice a low, chilling current. "No, Agent, we cannot, and we will not." Tarsis staggered back, as if struck. "You condemn them still? After what you've seen, what Lyra has just shown us? We are sworn to protect the Emperor's people, and I am sworn to protect his dominion," Valerius countered, his voice devoid of warmth. "Lyra's analysis is correct. The threat beneath us is not merely a regional catastrophe. It is an existential terror. The Coronates seek to use the Tan Shard fragment as a cosmic bomb, tearing reality itself. A portal large enough to swallow star systems would open here, on Xylos Prime, radiating outwards until nothing remained. Your aid would be a futile gesture, merely adding more souls to the sacrifice and ensuring the Coronates' grim victory." "Sacrifice?" Tarsis spat the word like venom. "You speak of sacrifice as if it were a butcher's tally. Those are lives, Valerius. Millions of them across this hive. We can't just abandon them. We must act." Sergeant Kale, who had been listening in grim silence, finally spoke, his voice gravelly. "Act how, Tarsis? Send in a few hundred guardsmen against a demon-infused horde driving toward a planet-destroying artifact? We'd be crushed and the outcome unchanged." Valerius is right. It's too late for conventional intervention. Valerius turned, his eyes like chips of ice. "It is precisely because it is too late for conventional intervention that we must make an unconventional and horrific choice. The millions within Hive Xylos, those who still breathe, those who still live in the other sectors, they will serve a final, vital purpose. Their collective psychic imprint, their life force, must be channeled. It will act as a colossal anchor, a living, dying seal upon the warp rift the Coronates intend to open, a psychic dam to contain the shard's destructive awakening, to starve the burgeoning terror in reality. It will be agonizingly slow, a sustained drain, turning this entire hive into a silent monument to their sacrifice, but is the only way to prevent the cataclysm." Tarsis's face went ashen, then crimson with rage. "You speak of genocide, a calculated, cold-blooded murder of millions to save. What? Your own soul from damnation? You are a monster, Valerius, a demon in human flesh." He lunged forward, but Kale's massive hand shot out, seizing his arm in an iron grip. "Restrain him, Sergeant," Valerius commanded, his voice unwavering. "His descent is a luxury we cannot afford. His humanity, a weakness that imperils us all. He has chosen his side." Kale, his face etched with sorrow, tightened his grip on the struggling agent. Lyra turned away, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek, knowing the terrible, impossible truth of Valerius's cruel verdict. The grim victory would be assured, but the cost, etched in the silent agony of millions, would haunt them forever. The Emperor's light would shine, but it would cast a shadow of unimaginable depth over Xylos Prime. Valerius stepped closer to Tarsis, his voice dropping to a near whisper that somehow resonated with greater authority. "You speak of a monster, Agent. Perhaps I am, but I am his monster. The Imperium was not built on compassion, Tarsis, but on necessary ruthlessness, on choices that make the weak falter and the strong endure. The lives of millions here are already lost to the Chornates, or to the inevitable devastation. I am merely ensuring their deaths are not in vain, that they serve a higher purpose than simply becoming blood for the blood god. This planetary sacrifice will buy the wider sector time, perhaps even save billions more across neighboring worlds from the coming horror. It is the only calculus that matters. Tarsis, still held by Kale, sagged, his fury draining away, replaced by a hollow despair. And what of your own soul, Inquisitor? Will the Emperor's light absolve you of the sin? Valerius offered no reply, his eyes fixed on the projected schematics, already seeing the ghost of the coming psychic drain. He then turned to Lyra. Inquisitor Lyra, initiate Project Adamant. Overload the primary conduit arrays in sectors Beta and Delta. Reroute all remaining power, all planetary-scale psychic amplification systems, directly into the nascent rift point in Gamma. Begin the siphon. Stabilize the energetic signature of the Tan Shard with the collective biosignatures of the remaining populace. We must create that dam. Lyra flinched, her hands hovering over her data slate. The enormity of the command, the cold mechanism of collective murder, seemed to momentarily paralyze her. But then, with a choked sob that she barely suppressed, her fingers flew across the slate, activating the protocols. On the holographic projection, the green pulse from Sector Gamma momentarily intensified, then began to flicker, a vast, invisible net spreading across the planet. A low hum filled the chamber, growing in intensity, a sound that wasn't quite audible but felt deep in the bones, a sympathetic vibration with the suffering about to begin. Outside, far below them, the screams that Tarsis had reported would begin to quiet, not from relief, but from a different, far more profound and pervasive agony. The wrongness that plagued them would not dissipate, but deepen, solidify, transforming Xylo's Prime into a monument of silent horror, its very essence now a shield against an even greater evil. Valerius watched, his expression unreadable, a single bead of sweat tracing a path down his temple. The air grew colder, heavy with unspoken death. He had made his choice. The price was incomprehensible, but the galaxy, for now, was safe from all that had threatened to open beneath their feet. A grim victory, indeed,